Participants in Hualien and Taipei joined Buddha Day ceremony through video conference. City volunteers in Mozambique held a fundraising event to help COVID patients in India. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. To mark Mother's Day, Buddha Day, and Global Tzu Chi Day, participants at Hualien Jing Si Abode, Linji Huguo Chan Temple, and Longshan Temple have participated in the Buddha Day ceremony simultaneously through video conference. Compared to the past years, the number of participants have lessened due to the pandemic. However, they still pray sincerely for a world free of disasters. To mark Tzu Chi's 55th Buddha Day ceremony, participants in front of the Jing Si Hall cleansed their minds with dharma water. The youth theater has participated in the Buddha Day ceremony for the first time. The drum performance has inspired people to pray for the pandemic to end.
I think the singing and the sound of drums are well combined. There is even a scene of incense praise. In such serene singing, there is a feeling of firmness.
Through video conference, the participants at Linji Huguo Chan Temple, Longshan Temple, and Hualien Jing Si Hall work with one mind and one heart to pray for a world free of disasters.
We participate in the global blessing ceremony, praying for the pandemic to end soon. We express our most sincere wishes.
Paying respect to the Buddha to purify one's mind, one also has to adopt a vegetarian diet. Volunteers promote vegetarianism so people can refrain from killing and coexist with all living beings.
人人都是菩萨，只要呢，我们关怀人间，为人间付出，都是叫做结有情。感恩有这么多的有情人汇合在一起。
To mark Buddha Day, Mother's Day, and Global Tzu Chi Day, people have seized the occasion to express their gratitude for the Buddha, their parents, and all sentient beings. As we mentioned, Taipei's Linji Huguo Chan Temple hosted the Buddha Day ceremony simultaneously with Hualien's Jing Si Abode. Last year, during the height of the pandemic in Taiwan, only 30 Dharma masters attended the ceremony. But this year, 93 were allowed to participate in the event.
A respectful ceremony to praise the Buddha, led by 5 elder Dharma masters, as all honor the Buddha with prayers and good thoughts. The century-old Linji Huguo Chan Temple has hosted a Buddha Day ceremony for a second year to gather the strength of Dharma masters for prayers and repenting.
愿不生杀念害群生，万物相依并相生。愿断除累世诸恶习，远离乱想去障蔽。
礼敬诸佛。
With great disaster, great compassion is needed. The elder Dharma masters remind us to see the wisdom and light and not be confused by the darkness of our habits.
When the human race does not keep a vegetarian diet, and each day tens and billions of animals are slaughtered for food, their death comes at a vengeful price. The world then pays for it as a natural disaster. The debt of killing is very heavy, and it's become a problem for all of our karma. We need to bear this weight. I hope we can spread the Buddhist teachings and treat every living thing with compassion.
Despite the pandemic, this year's Buddha Day ceremony was held in Taipei and Hualien. This time, Tzu Chi cooperated with Taipei Longshan Temple for the first time.
Longshan Temple in Taipei, with a history of 282 years, participating in Tzu Chi Buddha Day ceremony for the first time. Through technology, it met with Hualien Jing Si Abode in the cloud.
Our tradition is based on the Prince Sakyamuni, because the meaning of bathing Buddha is not to bathe the body for the Buddha, but to purify our own souls. For the Dharma to be deeply rooted in the world, what is most needed is to be able to attract more people so that young people can come and learn our Dharma. And we cannot break away from the tradition, but we also have to innovate.
This year, Longshan Temple invite a total of 10 masters to lead the public to pray for blessings.
In fact, we really know that we're taken care of by Buddha, so today we express our gratitude.
The participants work with one heart and mind to pray for the world. May their kind thoughts reach the heavenly beings and harmonize society.
This year's Tzu Chi Buddha Day ceremony was held in a smaller yet still solemn scale. Tzu Chi volunteers in New Taipei City set up 5 spots for the members of the public to attend.
Serving a cup of tea to her mother and saying, "I love you" out loud. This child shyly hugs, expresses his love to his mother. Affected by pandemic, volunteers held small-scale Buddha Day ceremony in the community.
I am very happy because we both have been busy. It is rare that I could take a rest today and participate in the Buddha ceremony with my daughter.
To support Buddha ceremony and also support pandemic measures, the chief of a community also prepared soap in shape of a carnation flower to celebrate Mother's Day.
Our own announcement hasn't been posted yet, but I was in my elevator and saw the poster made by the royal chief already.
In our community, I have posted it at 150 bulletin boards. I hope that the residents can come to the Buddha Day ceremony and pray for everyone's safety.
Tzu Chi volunteers set up 5 spots in Danshui, Shimen, and Sanzhi to celebrate Buddha Day. One of them is right next to the Danshui MRT, so that people can get close to the Buddha.
Through Buddha Day ceremony, we really wash away the 5 defilements of our body and mind, but we must also follow pandemic prevention. It is very convenient for local people and the tourists to join this Buddha Day ceremony. I think it is also a unique way to celebrate.
We hope that by gathering kind thoughts from everyone, we can smooth inner anxiety and pray the end of the pandemic.
With the increase of Indians' COVID incidents, Mozambique Tzu Chi House started a fundraising event. Even those people who are still recovering from Cyclone Idai donated their money to help India.
Their hearts are with India, praying for those who recently died, and also praying for those who are currently affected by COVID.
Oh, Deus Todo-Poderoso, tenha misericórdia de Índia. Estenda tua mão para a Índia. Moçambique e África têm orado muito e continuamente.
They hold up printed signs with words of blessing in different languages. Their hands are crossed to express their sincerest love. Though Mozambicans may be poor, they have never been out of love to give. After Cyclone Idai, DaAi Farm has become a place where love and hope comes together.
It's devastating seeing the family of a deceased waiting for their turn and cremation.
Some donated 1 coin, others donated a whole pocketful, or even the only bill left of their savings.
Today it's them, tomorrow it could be us. We need to be vigilant.
Despite most of them not having a steady job and the harvest has yet to be completely done, amongst this 1,000 some people, collectively they donated 3,361 Mozambican maticais, which averages a donation of 3.30 maticais per person, representing 5% of their income per day.
I will be more careful to obey prevention measures in wearing masks, washing my hands. This way, I can protect myself.
The overfilling bamboo coin bank, the sincere songs, these Mozambicans do their best to support India spiritually and financially.
Jing Si Abode is a volunteer spiritual home. In the early days, in the field in Hualien, the main hall occupied only 126 square meters. It served as the Buddha Hall Tzu Chi Foundation office and bedroom. Then the Jing Si Abode expanded, but the main hall has stayed the same. "50-year-old Lin Yongsen has grown up in Jing Si Abode.
My grandmother is the 10th Tzu Chi commissioner. We followed our grandmother and mother to the Jing Si Abode. I remember that since I was in kindergarten till I was in 6th grade, we came here very often. In the past, there are many small fish here. We were curious and the weather was hot, so we jumped into the pond to play and catch fish. We thought it was fun, but the adults would stop us. Later, we were punished by standing. We would stand in a row near the mall hall, being punished. In the past, we would say that I did not have a childhood. This is a joke. We said that I did not have a childhood because this place is where Dharma masters live and cultivate. We need to follow a lot of rules. Currently, besides the main hall, the other places are different from before.
To celebrate Tzu Chi's 55th anniversary, volunteers came up with a plan for year-end blessing ceremonies. The picture of the main hall through digital technique was taken by Yongsen's father.
When we saw it, we could recognize right away that my father took the picture because the image was very clear. I'm touched that in every stage, so many Tzu Chi brothers and sisters documented history and footprints. In the past, I might not think this is very important. However, as 10-20 years have passed, and now has been 55 years, as we look back, they seem especially precious.
Another person also has precious memories. 80-year-old Tzu Chi was a young nurse since 1972. Back then, she made an important decision in life.
Back then, I rode a bike. It was very far, and I rode a bicycle from Hualien City to here. Back then, bicycles were the only vehicles. So we rode on bicycles to return to Jing Si Abode to take refuge in the Buddha. It was such auspicious affinities. It was very simple. It was really too simple. It was very, very simple. What stayed the same is the main Buddha hole. It stayed the same.
依然不变。
When typhoon struck, We would take down the windproof board and use it as tabletop in meetings. We held our monthly meetings in the main hall. Back then, the master hosted the meetings.
上人亲自主持。阮住喺内底，伫内底拜佛，伫内底办公，困喺内底，赶快伫大殿内底，就是很温馨啊。所以咱就有一间大殿，咱就有一个灶骹，真好用啊！是安尼认真做主祭，认真修行拜佛就是安尼过啊。
如果我们去回想。
If we look back at 1966,
那个时候的台湾的佛教
back then, there are many Buddhists in Taiwan. They are very pious,
大家能做的事情就是
but what they did was mainly listening to Dharma teachings and worshipping the Buddha.
很少有机会真正能够去立
They seldom gave themselves and upheld the precepts.
素食持戒等等。那在那个时候，
Back then, the master wanted people to help the less fortunate people. That was when her disciples saved up grocery money to help people.
那个就是5毛钱每一天。
Jing Si Abode's main hall is also a lab of love. As years have passed, it remains the direction of love for countless Tzu Chi volunteers.
那我觉得这个是一个实验。
I think this is an experiment.
上人用的是另外一个方法。
If back then, the master has used another method and looked for people who are financially well off,
然后由他们来出，
then she could ask them to make donations to help the underprivileged people. It could work.
也可以行得通，但是上人走的慈济的这一条路就走。
However, the real Tzu Chi path was different. In Tzu Chi, the poor people can still help the underprivileged people.
更弱的人，慈济的这个发展到今天，
Tzu Chi is able to develop because they chose this path. If you look back, this is like an experiment. It tested on whether we could choose such a difficult path. However, it worked.
但是他走得通了。
Taking a path that is filled with challenges, Deng Shuqing still does as much volunteer work as she can. Lin Yongsen has taken a baton from his mother and became a third-generation Tzu Chi volunteer.
所以我是期待说自己将来可以
I hope that in the future, I can move forward in this direction and learn from my parents. I want to become a great person.
棒的一个人。
我说我真的是
I said that I really do not have any regrets in life. For me, the most important thing is Tzu Chi.
我没有自己很像不
I cannot do much without Tzu Chi. All of my body cells are filled with Tzu Chi spirit.
You must have similar experiences like this, waiting at a blood collection counter for a long time, then waiting for the blood test results. Many hospitals have delayed timing. The Chang'an Memorial Hospital has developed an automatic process.
Reporting into the counter to receive their numbers, patients are waiting in line for a medical check. Outside the blood collection counter, citizens are complaining about the wait time. Yet the issue of waiting is solved at Chang'an's Memorial Hospital. Every day, 1,500 tubes of specimens are transported via this conveyor belt. The transporting system is very well organized, as if it were a mini traffic system. The system was brought in by Chang'an Memorial Hospital and reduces the workload for medical staff.
Because we have this automated system here, it helps us with identifying barcode located on top of a specimen.
In the past, drawing blood at the hospital is a lengthy process, but with this intelligent system connected with multiple departments, the process became quicker as each specimen can be located by the machine during transportation. Newly drawn blood can be transported right away.
After drawing blood at a hospital, each specimen has to be sent into the specimen collection room manually. But after Chang'an Memorial Hospital introduced the intelligent system, every specimen now goes into a conveyor belt, saving both effort and time.
Hidden conveyor belts are transporting each tube into the ceiling, as this tunnel is called the secret passage. On the other side, the long tube seen here is the exit. Once the tube drops, the machine picks it up immediately, starting the entire process. Step 1. The blood has to be sent into the centrifuge for processing, as the step was usually performed by medical staff. Before, we had to manually control the machine in order to move these items around the centrifuge, which includes moving tubes up and down, and to put into the shelves. These movements require a lot of manual labor. According to the patient's condition, medical staff will either enforce biochemical analysis or saturation analysis. The barcodes located on the tubes will let the system know which specimen goes where, as there will be zero mistakes. If we select other options besides saturation analysis, when analyzing the specimen, it will be sent into the right place for analysis. Two types of analysis each have their own designated machine. The green tubes mean emergency, as the system will send those tubes into a priority queue, avoiding the traffic of tubes ahead. The machines will automatically determine their weight capabilities. The priority queue tubes will be sent into the route with less traffic.
We just talked about the effects of physical examination. Before, it takes about 4 to 5 hours for a report to come out. Now it only takes about an hour or two.
As of now, the specimen collection room minimalizes human labor, as only 3 people need to be on duty, saving costs for the hospital while protecting patients from having another shot.
In the past, if a patient has to undergo 2 checks, the 2 checks will be separately held on device A and B, but it requires 2 tubes of blood. But now, since the process can be done and merged into 1 track, 1 tube of blood on a patient is sufficient enough.
After completing the checking process, the specimen will then be sent into the fridge for 7 days, as a total of 16,000 tubes can be stored. After reaching a time limit, the tubes that expired will be thrown into the trash can. Before automation, Chang'an Memorial Hospital experienced a lack of human labor, as only 30% of specimens have to be dealt locally, while 70% of the samples must be sent to Linkou for examination. Through the transporting process, human error becomes commonality. Yet with the intelligent system, 80% of specimens can be processed locally. A record of 0 mistakes has been recorded since then.
In the past, we had to do it because we had to manually place specimens onto shelves, and there might be mistakes such as dropping specimens during the process.
According to Chang'an Memorial Hospital statistics, it takes about 3.5 minutes for a patient to receive their blood draw. The newly established intelligent system shortens that duration down to 2.37 minutes.
In the Department of Laboratory Medicine, there's an indicator called a threshold potential. It can be calculated based upon the blood drawn within 10 minutes. Our standards are a bit strict, as within 10 minutes every patient has to reach a threshold potential of 95%. We even improved that to a 97%.
Once technology is incorporated into the medical system, this allows more efficiency at work. It also provides more benefits to visiting patients.
To celebrate Mother's Day, Dolio Recycling Education Station has designed games for the public. In addition, city volunteers pack supplies for care recipients. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.